Good afternoon. Today I am going to start a new page, 23 page from the chapter People as Resource, Health. Now, firm maximize. Yesterday I have told you about the Sakal and Vilas story. Vilas was not getting a good all the opportunities while Sakal was getting all the good opportunities. Firm maximize profit. Do you think any firm would be induced to employ people who might not work efficiently as a healthy worker because of ill health? Now you know a healthy person can do some work and he or she can earn a money, but unhealthy ill people, they cannot earn anything, they cannot get anything. The health of a person, that is why for the progress of a nation, the health is the most important thing. The health of a person helps him to realize his potential and the ability to fight illness. An unhealthy person becomes a liability for an organization indeed. Suppose a person is unhealthy, he cannot do anything for that organization. So healthy person is very important. Health is an indispensable basis for realizing one's well-being. Henceforth, improvement in the health status of a population has been the priority of the country. So healthy person is one of the important stage under which a nation can progress. Our national policy too aims at improving the accessibility of the health care, family welfare and nutritional service with a special focus on the underprivileged segment of the population. Over the last 5 decades, India has built up a vast health infrastructure. India has looked many things upon up to the people life. They have seen, they have given a lot of opportunities and help to the people. So here it's written, and has developed manpower required at primary, secondary and tertiary sector in a government as well as in the private sector. Now this box you will read yourself and the question answers are there from this table number 2.2. It is given some health infrastructure over the year. You have to find out the nursing, doctor, beds and dispensaries and the hospitals. So these are the numbers which are given in the few years. You have to find out. Now there are many places in India which do not have even these basic facilities. Such 4 states like Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra have 81 out of 181 medical colleges. Some of the states are having a good all the things, some states are not having the good hospitals, even the medical colleges also. On the other hand, states like Bihar and Uttar Pradesh have poor health indices. So if you will find out from the data that Bihar and Uttar Pradesh, they are not having a good health facilities and a few medical colleges also. Now some questions are given here on the right side. You have to read this table first 2.2 and you have to find out how many doctors, how many nurses are working in these hospitals, how many hospitals are there in your locality, how many dispensaries are there in your locality. Unemployment, people who is educated but cannot find the job. Unemployment. Saka's mother Sheila looked after the domestic chores, children and helped her husband Bhuta in the field. Saka's brother Jitu and Situ spent their time playing and roaming. Can you call Sheila or Jitu or Situ is unemployed? If not, why? They are not unemployed. We cannot say. Unemployment is said to exist when people who are willing to work at the going wages cannot find the jobs. They are willing to do, they are educated, but they are not finding out the jobs. Sheila is not interested in working outside her domestic domain. Jitu and Situ are too small to be counted in the workforce population. Neither Jitu, Situ or Sheila can be counted as unemployed. The workforce population includes people from 15 years to 59. In our India, the working force starts from 15 to 59 and 60, it's a retirement age. Says Saka's brother and sister do not fall within this age group, so they cannot be called unemployed. Saka's mother Sheila works for a family. She is not willing to work outside her domestic domain for payment. She too cannot be called unemployed. Saka's grandparents, although not mentioned in the story, cannot be called unemployed. In case of India, we have unemployment in rural and urban areas. Unemployment can be seen in our country both in village area, both in cities areas also. However, the nature of the unemployment differs in rural and urban. Mostly you will see the unemployment is totally different in the village area and the city area, town area. In case of the rural area, there is a seasonal and disguised unemployment. Now there are two types of unemployment. One is a seasonal unemployment, another is a disguised unemployment. Urban areas have mostly educated unemployment. Now in a city area you will see mostly there are unemployment, educated unemployment people are there. Now what is a seasonal unemployment? In a working category, two divisions are there. One is a seasonal, one is a disguised unemployment. Seasonal unemployment is what? Seasonal employment, suppose few months the farmer is doing job, farmer is growing the crops, and rest of the months they are idle, they are not getting any other work in the agriculture, so they have to find out other work. That is known as seasonal unemployment. They have to search other jobs, other work for their family. Now here it's given, seasonal unemployment happens when people are not able to find jobs during some months of the year. People dependent on agriculture usually face such kind of problem, and this seasonal unemployment, it took place only in these areas where the agriculture is going on. Now there are certain busy seasons when sowing, harvesting, weeding and threshing is done. Now there is a agriculture season also when sowing is done, harvesting is done, weeding and threshing. Certain months do not find much work to the people dependent on agriculture. Those people who are dependent on agriculture, the whole year they are not busy with the agriculture. Few months they have to find out the job, they have to depend on other work. So that is known as seasonal unemployment. Now in case of disguise, another unemployment, disguise, what is that? Disguise unemployment, people appear to be employed. They have agricultural plot where they find work. Now there is a agriculture, but they have to find out the work. This usually happens among the family. Disguised unemployment can be seen only among the family. This usually happens among family members engaged in agricultural activity. The work requires the service of 5. Now in the agriculture plot, suppose in a family, here it written that in a land it requires only 5 people to do the work, but here it is engaged 8 people. 3 people are extra. 5 people work is needed in that plot, in that land, but 3 extra been added, that is a 8, and 3 people are extra. These 3 people also work in the same plot the others as the others. The contribution made by the 3 extra people does not add to the contribution made by the 5 people. Now these, here is written, the 3 extra will not do any other work. On the same plot, the 5, what 5 is doing, 3 will also do the same work. If 3 people are removed, it will not harm to the productivity. The field requires the service of 5 people, and the 3 extra are known as disguised unemployment. 5 people are already doing the work, but 3 extra it came. 3 will not give the other productivity, other increasement, but these 3 extra are known as disguised unemployment. In case of the urban areas, educated unemployment has become a common phenomenon. Many youth with matriculation, graduation and post-graduation degrees are not able to find a job. Then it says it's a unemployment. A study showed that unemployment of a graduate and postgraduate has increased faster than among matriculates. Nowadays, many of the people, they are graduate, they are postgraduate, but they are not finding out they are not getting the job. A paradoxical manpower situation is witnessed as surplus of manpower in certain categories coexist with shortage of manpower in others. There is unemployment among technically qualified persons on one hand, while there is a dearth of technical skills in required for economic growth. Now, unemployment leads to the wastage of manpower resource. This line you have to underline. Unemployment leads to the wastage of manpower resource. Man is a resource for the nation. So, unemployment, if there it is a wastage. It is the wastage for the country. People who are an asset for the economy turn into a liability. There is a feeling of hopelessness and despair among the youth. People do not have enough money to support their family. Inability of educated people who are willing to work to find gainful employment implies a great social waste. Now, unemployment tends to increase the economic overload. If there is more unemployment, people are not getting a job, they are willing to do, they are already graduate, they are already postgraduate, but they are not finding, they are not getting the job. So that becomes an overburden for the nation. The quality of the life of an individual as well as society is adversely affected. When a family has to live on a bare subsistence level, there is a general decline in its health status and rising withdrawal from the school system. Hence, unemployment has detrimental impact on the overall growth of an economy. Increase in unemployment is an indicator of the depressed economy. It is not increasing the economy, but it is declining the economy. Unemployment is one of the big problem. It also wastes the resource which could have been gainfully employed. If people cannot be used as a resource, they naturally appear as a liability to the economy. So people is one of the important resource. If he is not getting any job, it is one of the burden, it is one of the pressure for the nation. In case of India, statistically, the unemployment rate is low. Now, if you will see in a graph, you will find out unemployment is little bit low. A large number of people represented with low income and productivity are counted as employed. Whichever the people is doing work or getting a low income, they are counted as employed. They appear to work throughout the year, but in terms of their potential and income, it is not adequate for them. The work that they are pursuing seems forced upon them. They may therefore want other works of their choice. Poor people cannot afford to sit idle. You can see that poor people, those who are poor, they will not sit any time idle. So they will find out the work. They tend to engage in any activity irrespective of its earning potential. Their earning keeps them a bare subsistence level. They want to earn every time the money. Moreover, the employment structure is characterized by self-employment in the primary sector. The whole family contributes in the field even though not everybody is really needed. A family is having the 5 member, you have read just now, disguise unemployment. Family is having 5 member and they are getting one plot to do the work. 5 members are enough, but 3 extra came. They will not do any extra work, but they will also be engaged with the same land. That is, it is known as, these 3 are known as disguised unemployment. The whole family contributes in field even though not everybody is really needed. So there is a disguised unemployment in the agriculture sector. Now in the agriculture sector, but the entire family shares what has been produced. This concept of sharing of work in the field and the produce reduces the hardship of unemployment in the rural sector. But this does not reduce the poverty of the family. Gradually, surplus labor from every household tends to migrate from the village to search the jobs. Now you will see the laborers. Moreover, the laborers in the village, they will migrate towards the towns to search the job. They will not sit idle. Let us discuss about the employment scenario in 3 sectors that you have read: primary, secondary and tertiary. Agriculture is the most abundant agriculture is the most labor absorbing sector of the economy. Agriculture is the main activity for the economy. In recent years, there has been a decline in the dependence of population on agriculture, partly because of disguised unemployment discussed earlier. Some of the surplus labor in agriculture has moved to either the secondary or the tertiary sector. Now people are not only doing the agriculture, most of the percentage people of India, they are engaged in agriculture, but nowadays they are moving towards the secondary and the tertiary. So in the secondary sector, small scale manufacturing is most labor absorbing. In the secondary sector, you will see number of workers needed, number of laborers are needed. So the people are migrating from primary to secondary. In case of tertiary sector, various new services are now appearing like biotechnology, information technology and so on. So people are migrating that way also. Let us read a story of how people could become an asset for the economy of the village. Now story of a village is given here. The story of a village. There was a village inhabited by the several families. Now each family produced enough to feed its member. There are a number of families who are living in this village. Each family met its need by the members making their own clothes and teaching their own children. Now in these families, they are making their own clothes also, and they are teaching to their own children also. One of the family decided to send one of its son to an agriculture college. Now among these families, one of the family had decided to send their son to an agriculture college to get some training. The boy got his admission in the nearby college of agriculture. He got the admission in that college. After some time, he became qualified in agro engineering and came back to the village. Again he came back after getting his education there in a training he got from the agro engineering. He came back to the village. He proved to be so creative that he could design an improved type of plows. He was so perfect. Now he said that in a village he can design a new type of plow which increase the yield of the wheat. That type of tools he can make which can increase the wheat. Thus a new job of agro engineer was created and filled in the village. Now the family of the village sold the surplus in a neighboring village. Whatever the production they were having, now they started selling to the nearby village. They earned good profit which they shared among themselves. Whatever they were getting a good profit, they have shared among themselves, those families. Inspired by this success of all the families, after some time held a meeting in the village. Now one meeting was held among the families in a village. They all wanted to have a better future for their children too. All were waiting their children that they will get a good education for their future. They were worried about their future. They requested the panchayat to open a school in the village. Now all the families, they went to panchayat, and the village headmen, they have discussed and they asked to open a new school. They assured the panchayat that they would all spend their children, they will send their children to the school. So the panchayat, with the help of a government, opened a new school. A teacher was recruited. Now the teacher being hired from a nearby town. All the children of this village started going to school. After some time, one of the families gave training to his daughter as in tailoring. She started stitching clothes for all the families of the village, for everyone now wanted to buy and wear a well-tailored clothes. So all people in a village, all families, they started taking the clothes from that daughter that she had got the training in tailoring. Thus another new job that the tailor was created, a new job. First was, already you have read that a son had got the training in an agriculture college. He came back to village and he had introduced one new design of plow which could have given a good production. And here the daughter had also got training in a tailoring and it had also improved a lot in the family. The time of the farmers is going far for buying clothes or save. Now the time already saved, the money saved. As the farmers spent more time in the field, the yield of the farms went up. Now this was the beginning of the prosperity. The farmers had more than what they could consume. Now they are getting a more production, and in a big way they are consuming also. Now they could sell what they produced to others who came to their village markets. Over time, this village, which formerly had no job opportunities in the beginning, had many like teacher, tailor, agro engineer, and many others. So in a village now, many daughters, many sons are getting the training in different fields. So this was the story of a simple village where the rising level of the human capital enabled it to evolve into a place rich with complex and modern economic activities. So like this way the whole village had turned into a modern activities. Now I will give you question answers afterwards.